Before we jump into today's show, it is the Battle of the Birds this Sunday. Falcons Seahawks. Help us win on the gridiron by beating our Seahawks channel here at Chat Sports. We've got a bit of a leg up on Falcons today, but hey, every subscriber equals a point. I'm pretty sure that's how YouTube works, so make sure you are subscribed. Welcome into Falcons Today by Chat Sports. Matthew Peterson here, and a bit of a revolving door at host while Thomas Ma has moved on to greener pasture. So before you ask, that's where he's at. But we're going to get into some Week 2 overreaction stemming from the Falcons' loss against the Rams on the road. Mariota and company were driving down the field late. Touchdown ties it. Extra point takes the lead. Unfortunately, Jalen Ramsey just with the absolute moss to seal the win. I thought the Falcons, if they had won the game, coming back from 28-3, would have exercised all those demons out of them. The curse would have been over, at least not for now. Maybe it's to be a little later, but Atlanta falls to 0-2. So, with that, I mean, hair's not on fire. I don't think anyone expected this Falcons team to jump out to a 2-0 start, but they've definitely been more competitive what a lot of people thought they would be after going up against tough NFC opponents like the Saints and then like the Rams. So let's get into some overreactions because that's what everyone does on Monday after NFL Sunday. Number one, Arthur Smith. Is his seat warming up? I'm going to say it's not an overreaction, but he's definitely not on the hot seat, right? There's a difference. He's got the seat warmer on, okay? But he's not on the hot seat just yet. He was not given a roster filled with talent. He was not given a roster with a long-term play at quarterback. And so with those things in mind, I don't think you can really put a ton of blame on Arthur Smith. But at the end of the day, when losses stack up, people look to blame. And when you're a 7-12 all-time head coach, people want results. People want wins. And a head coach ultimately where the buck stops, right? That's who teams and that's who fans hold responsible. That's why I think it's seats warming up, not on the hot seat. There's a difference. And I don't think he's going to get fired. But if you are just frustrated, right, and you just want to see this Falcons team get back to where they were not that long ago, just 5-6 seasons ago, they were one of the best teams in the NFC. Things have gotten away quickly from the Falcons, so if you think he should be fired, it's a pinned comment. I'm putting N for no, but I'll let you guys, and be a democracy, get your votes in down below. Next overreaction, Kyle Pitts. Is he a bust? This is an overreaction. And this is not necessarily all on Kyle Pitts. I don't know what the game plan was going into this week, but it clearly was not give one of your best players, give the second best player on offense the football. That's what it should have been. Now, Arthur Smith was asked about Kyle Pitts and sort of being MIA week 2. Here's what he said. Kyle is a huge part of our offense. You just have to take it with context. Other guys made plays. It's not fantasy football. We're trying to win. We will continue to look at everything and try to get better. I know it's not fantasy football, Arthur, but you know it's a pretty good recipe to success? Getting the football to the guy you drafted in the top 5, 4th overall. I think that's probably a good idea. I'm not asking you to carry people's fantasy football teams and force feed the guy with 15 targets. But he was just out of the game plan week 2. That's a mishap. That's on coaching. Coaches have to scheme up ways to get their playmakers the football. Let them do things with you. Like let Kyle Pitts be the stud, be the unicorn that he is, by getting in the football, for example, right? You have to find ways to just get these guys in their rhythm, right? Start building momentum because running an offense through Kyle Pitts is going to get you more success. Now, Kyle Pitts himself was asked about this, and here's what he said. Just being selfless. The ball didn't come my way, but I may have had to block to help spring someone else open or run a route to get someone else open. It's selfless ball. I like this response from Kyle Pitts, who just through 2 games has 4 receptions and 38 yards. You know, he's not trying to pass blame off. He's trying to be a team player. He's trying to do what's best for the team. But right now, I think the best thing for the team is to get Kyle Pitts the football. So don't be selfish, right? Producer Jeremy, get the football, right? I mean, this is a key season for the Falcons in terms of looking for progression and answering questions. Is Desmond Ridder a QB for the future? Is Kyle Pitts a top 5 tight end in football? Is A.J. Terrell going to be the cornerstone of this defense for years to come? These are questions Falcons fans want answered, right? Not necessarily looking for 10 wins because 10 wins is not coming this year. But what do you all think? Is Kyle Pitts a bust? Give me a T for too early if you're like, you know what, let's not get ahead of our skis. It's been 2 games. Slow down, Matthew. Or if it's wait and let's just see what happens, right? I don't think he is. I'm giving you guys one option here. I don't think Kyle Pitts is a bust because of 2 games where he was just exiled to Guantanamo Bay in the second week against the Rams. All right, Falcons today has a great deal for everyone over at BetUS. When you go to chatsports.com/bet and put in promo code Falcons125, they're going to give you guys a 125% deposit bonus, okay? And so, chatsports.com/betFalcons. So, got to use that link along with the promo code Falcons125, and boom. Let's say you put 100 bones in, they'll tack on an additional 125. There you got 225 to play with. Falcons overs. I think that's the move right now. Offense is putting up points. Defense is going to allow a lot of points. So I like the over for the Falcons against the Seahawks. Don't even have to look at it. Geno Smith I don't trust in, but the Falcons I do. Next overreaction from week 2. Desmond Ridder should be the starter. I'm going to say overreaction for now. I don't think you pull the cord on Marcus Mariota after 2 weeks where he hasn't looked like a quarterback who needs to be benched, right? And I'm sort of contradicting my own takes at times, but Mariota, I don't believe, was the epitome and the absolute thesis of why this team lost against the Rams. He threw 2 interceptions. The last one, at least he was just trying to make a play, right? In those situations, I'm not all that frustrated. I'd rather see that type of play than 4th and 10 and it's an incomplete pass and he was too timid with the football. Now, having said that, I don't think Marcus Mariota should start every single game this season. If losses are starting to pile up, you might as well see what you have in Desmond Ridder, right? You want to learn something from him this season. Learn if he's the guy or if he's not the guy. If he's not, then you can go to the draft and pick C.J. Stroud or Bryce Young. But if there is something in there, you can save one of those top picks for another position, not running back, but something on defense, then that's a good move too. Desmond Ridder, I think, is at some point should start, but I don't think it's a good idea to send a message to your team of, hey, we're just going to play for the future. Sorry, Mariota. We know you're not the issue at the moment, but we're going to sit you anyway because we are punting on this season. I don't think that's a good message to send to a locker room. That might not be what you want to hear, but as of now, don't pull the cord on a guy who is not playing horrible football and personally is exceeding my expectations. Now, I want you all guys to weigh in for me. Should Desmond Ridder be the starter in week 3? What a matchup that would be. Geno Smith and Desmond Ridder. S for starter or B for bench. Let me know if you think Ridder should be out with the ones this upcoming Sunday. Week 3 matchup, by the way, to kind of look ahead here. Falcons right now +1 against the Seahawks. Over-under set at 41. This is what I was talking about at BetUS. Chatsports.com/betfalcons. I like the over. Jeremy? Over? Under? Overs, you're always alive. You got to go to the over. It's un-American. Although when you go to the under and you get it, you do feel like a rocket scientist. You're going to go with the over or the under, Jeremy? He's going to go the under. All right, so he's going to be the Kremlin. I'll go with the over. So make those bets over at chatsports.com/betfalcons. And hey, if you made it to the end of today's video, here at Chat Sports, we like to say you are a real one. Appreciate all of you guys for clicking on to today's show. Make sure you are subscribed because you know the saying, sub for dubs, baby.